Greetings everybody from my 2023 Nissan Versa S manual transmission. I'm at 4,600 miles. Let's see, I've owned this about 6 months now, so I figure it's time for an update. One thing I want to go over that I mentioned in an earlier video was that I thought the VTEC was removed for 2023. But it seems like as the engine gets broken, and okay, let's listen to this in second gear and go ahead and floor it. So it seems like it may actually be there. I don't think it's quite as dramatic as it was in the 2020 and 2021, but it does seem like right around 5,200 RPMs it kicks in. And you don't feel it as dramatically as you might in, say, a Honda Civic with VTEC or Honda Civic SI, especially like the older ones. I had a 2007, or maybe it was a 2008. No, I think it was a 2007 Honda Civic SI, and when that VTEC kicked in, there was no mystery about it. You felt it and heard it. Now in this car, it does seem to possibly still be present. Now I don't know why they would have changed anything like that in the engine, but they did definitely change the engine programming. I know that for a fact because of the whole push to start being removed for the 2022 model year. That brought along with it some other quirks that I've mentioned in other videos, but for those who haven't seen those, on the 2022 and up Versa S manual without the push to start, they did not program it correctly. So if you accidentally stall it, or if you don't hold the key on long enough for it to start, the computer will throw a code and it will cut power dramatically. Like you can barely get up to 40 miles an hour, and if you were trying to go up a hill, you would just lose speed. The temporary fix is to just shut the car off for a bit and restart it, and I think in that case it clears it, but it could create an issue. I've been advocating for people that have these cars to file a complaint with NHTSA about that. I do have some other videos about that if you want to learn more about that. So, hopefully they release a fix at some point. But in the meantime, that's what to do if it happens. Obviously, always hold the key on until it starts, and don't ever stall it, and you'll be fine. I had the issue on mine when I first got it. It was actually, I was trying to see if it still had the logic to do the push to start. Like on a Mercedes-Benz, I think since like about 98, 96, 2000, when they started using the electronic key, if you would put the key in and then just twist and release it from the start position, the computer would automatically start the car as if you had push to start. So a lot of cars that don't have the push to start will still have the logic to allow you just to, what I call, bump the key, and then it will start. So I was testing for that in my Versa. Found out it didn't have it because it just whirred over and then stopped. So I didn't think anything of it until I started driving and realized I didn't have any power. And then when I took it to the dealer, they weren't much help because there's so few of these out there that there's really not a big database about them at the dealership. But I mean, other than that issue, it's been flawless. I do have a little bit of a rattling in that thing behind the mirror up there. actually gotten so used to it, I pretty much don't even really hear it anymore. I was going to maybe have them look at it. They gave me 2 free oil changes when I bought the car. So I bought this in about April of 2023. It was an in-stock unit. I actually put my deposit down as soon as I spotted it on Nissan's website, about 6 weeks before it came in. And if you're looking for one of these, they are hard to find. I did make a video about how you can find one and secure one. It actually may be getting a little better for 2024. I saw a bunch of inbound 2024s on Nissan's website. That would be the S manual. That's the only one I ever look for. So hopefully they increase production of these. They don't stick around very long on the lots. They're either sold, pre-sold like this one was, or sold within a couple days of hitting the ground. It's definitely hard to find one of these. But yeah, you know, I've done other videos about my thoughts on this car. Just to recap some of them, I love how it sounds. I love how it feels. It's all day comfortable. I have had it on long road trips. So let's see, I'm gonna get out on the highway here. So we're gonna drop her down into second. And go ahead and do that flooring it thing again, and we'll listen. Yeah, I do think around 5,200 RPMs, we're getting that little extra boost. I think I could hear it a little better there. I was going on an uphill on-ramp there. So I'm going to go ahead and set my cruise. It doesn't display the speed. It's kind of old school, and that's one of the things I really like about this car, is the old school nature. I've said in another video, buying a brand new 2023, or now I guess 2024 Versa, is kind of like buying a brand new 90s car. Really the only difference is the screen that it has, and I think they have that just because it's required, the backup camera for the law for the backup camera. You know, and at this price point, while the competitors have either gone away or are going away, like the Rio, the Accent, I think they still make the Mitsubishi Mirage, but pretty much all the competitors at this point, Spark, maybe even Sonic, they're all gone, and most, if not all of those, I believe the base model did not come with cruise control. So it's really cool that Nissan included cruise control as a standard feature on the 2020 and up Versa S manual base model. Now I can't remember if I said what I paid for this. The sticker price on this was, I want to say $17,200, somewhere between $17,200 and $17,300. Bump that heater up a little bit. And I got a coupon from my dealership for $250 off any new car, which I thought was interesting because at the time, that was still when we were kind of having the shortages, and they honored it. So I got it for under 17 plus tax, and they did have a $4.99 dock fee, so technically the $250 discount was eaten up by the $4.99 dock fee, but I thought that was no big deal. And it was a very low pressure situation. I've dealt with that dealership before with quite a few cars. I've bought 4 Versas from them. Actually, you can see those other ones in my other videos. You know, when you get to the F&I office, and they offer you the crazy nonsense nonsense like the $500 nitrogen tires and $1,000 VIN etching and all that other nonsense. I just politely said, no, I'm not interested in any of that. And they said, okay. So they took that all off of there. They had like several $1,000s if you chose to get everything. But yeah, I did not. I declined everything. So yeah, I mean, I love the car. The days of buying one of these and selling it quickly for a profit, I believe, are gone. But I may hold on to this one for a while. We'll see. I guess the truck is speeding up because we're going down a hill. I was going to try to take this exit, but I don't think that's going to be safe. I'll go up a little bit. Yeah, you know, the other thing I've commented on before, but if you haven't seen my videos before, you can see kind of at relatively high RPMs for the highway speed. But you know, it's actually, you can hear it, but it's actually pleasant. It's quiet. It's not droning, not particularly noisy. I actually kind of like that because, you know, it gives you a little bit, like I just gave it a little bit of gas and I had it. It's kind of in the power band. I think the power band really is over 3,000 RPMs in this car, and especially over 4,000. These little engines, they don't typically have much torque down low, but once you get into the higher RPMs, they definitely tend to get a little more torquey. Some people may not like the high RPMs. It's not going to hurt the engine. It's designed for that. It'll probably run 500,000 miles without any engine issues, just to keep the oil changed. I am going to wait for a while before I get the oil changed. I think it calls for 7,500 miles. I'm going to wait at least that long. Typically in my cars, I very slightly stretch the oil change interval depending on the type of driving I do. I always let the car warm up completely to get all the excess moisture out of the oil, as opposed to someone who just makes a lot of short trips and the car never gets up to operating temperature. So that alone, I think, allows you to stretch your oil change interval by 10 or 20%, you know, so an 8 or 9,000 mile interval, maybe even 10. I have to look, but I think this has synthetic oil, you know, so as far as I'm concerned, you could go with the German car recommendation, which is a 10,000 mile oil change, and even in that case, when I've changed oil in cars like that, it's still been very fresh, surprisingly.